Legal expose.
Okay. So at any time did you see TKO and Hot Cocoa slash Star Maryland together in any of the rooms once you guys got back?
No, Coco had her own room. We were upstairs all hanging out at one point, and then he ended up taking off. But no, I never saw him and Coco spend any time together. Except for the time when we were already in the Airbnb, he wanted to go get something and he took her with him. And then they did go to IHOP one night, but outside of that, no. I didn't see them in the room.
Okay. Do you know? We're going to come back to the Airbnb, but I just want to ask this question. Do you know anything about them having any type of altercation in the car?
No.
Okay. So she didn't. Okay. So she probably didn't say anything. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the Airbnb. So everybody was drunk. Everybody went to their room. You don't know where TKO went, if he went home or where he went that night.
Yeah, I ended up going home. So I don't. Once I left,
Okay.
I don't know
What
who did
happened?
what.
Did you hear any rumors about what took place that night?
Mm-mm.
Nobody talked about it. Nobody said nothing.
Mm-mm. I think we all
Well, if you
just
don't
went
know,
our
you don't
separate.
know. Then I can't ask you
Yeah.
questions about things you don't know. Okay. So when did you link back up with the crew?
The day that Mel and all the other ladies came to the Airbnb, the day of
And
the
how was that?
party. At first, it was amazing. We were having a good time. We had music blasting. We were at the pool. We went. It was hot as hell. So I told them, I was like, as soon as I get outside or to the Airbnb, I'm getting naked. I'm jumping in the pool, and that's exactly what I did.
Period.
And we got ready. We got all cute. We were dancing. We were having fun. We had balloons everywhere. It was a vibe.
So when did the vibe turn into the train wreck uh, with the yelling and screaming outside? Let's get to that point.
So the next night, things were just not how they were supposed to be. Rida ended up ordering food for us to cook, and then we realized that we didn't have like a lot of seasonings, a lot of pots and pans. Like we didn't have a lot of stuff that we needed. So I was frustrated with that. Mel, mind you, she had just lost her mother, so she was feeling a certain type of way. Like, she was going in and out of her emotions because she really wanted her mom to be there and to celebrate and stuff like that. So it was still fresh for her. So I'm like running up and down the stairs trying to make sure, she's good, giving her shots, giving her hugs, shit like that. And she didn't want me to be downstairs, like getting everything together. She wanted me to be upstairs and just helping her. And I was like, no, girl, we got food to cook, this and that. I'm trying to get it ready, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So Ladybug was doing her hair, and me and Cuban got into it because she wasn't helping out. She was just sitting there and she was just smoking weed. And I was like, girl, like, people are going to be here. Like, we got all this food. We done spent, Rida done spent $200, $300 on food. So I need you to like be downstairs and help us. So I was irritated a lot of the time. We had finished the alcohol and then more people started coming. Once more people started coming, TKO came and he was upset that we didn't have any alcohol. So he kept telling me, where's the alcohol? Where's the alcohol? Where's the money? Where's the money? So I ended up still going to buy alcohol. And at this point, I was super irritated. So I asked Cuban if I could take her car to go to the liquor store. And she was like, yeah, you could take my car. She was like, can I go with you? And I was like, yeah, but honestly, like, I don't want to talk. Like, I'm so irritated and slightly pissed off right now. I don't want to talk. So we ended up going to go get alcohol. We came back to the Airbnb and I told her I don't want to talk to nobody until I take a couple of shots. So So I'm sitting there, and mind you, I didn't tell TKO that I was leaving. I literally just grabbed my purse, got the keys, and walked out the door. So I didn't even tell him that I was leaving. So when he came back, he was like, "Oh, you went to go buy alcohol. You didn't tell me." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you kept sitting there saying that there's no alcohol. Why isn't there no alcohol?" So I went to go buy alcohol. And he's talking to me. And another thing is, when he's talking to you, he likes to make eye contact. He wants you to look at him. Mind you, I had already told Cuban that I didn't want to talk to nobody until I had a couple of shots, because I wanted this day, this party, to be special for Mel. So he was like, he sat there and he was like, "Am I the tequila?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Am I the tequila?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "I'm talking to you and you're not looking at me. You're looking at the tequila." I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to pour a shot." So then he sat there and told me to go meet him outside. So he's walking outside. He sees me still trying to pour a shot, and he raises his voice. He was like, "Now." So I try to hurry up and grab a shot. So I go outside. I don't know exactly what made him feel like he needed to yell at me, but he started yelling. And when I say yelling, like screaming, to the point where people in the party inside the house D Money was one of them. He tried to come outside and smoke. And he sat there and told them to go back inside, that he was busy. So they went back inside. Then he started yelling at me some more. And Mel tried to come outside, and he went off on them because they were trying to go outside. And he was like, "No, we're not trying to come outside. We get that you're busy, but you got to understand that we're in an Airbnb and they're strict here. Whoever the owners are strict, because at the end of the day, there was only supposed to be 4 cars there. So there was cars parked all over the neighborhood, and you would have to walk to the Airbnb. So they were strict. So they sat there and came outside, and they were like, "No, we're trying to tell you, to tone it down, or to come inside and go upstairs and have this conversation, because you're screaming and the neighbors are going to hear it, and we don't want them to think that something's going on." So they go back inside. He's pissed off. Mind you, I had a cup with a little bit of tequila. Thank you guys. In my cup. He got so upset. He sat there, and I thought he was going to hit me. He sat there and he hit the cup. He went inside, and the way the door is, it had like those wood blinds on it. So it was hard to open the door. So he goes inside, he slams the door so hard that the wood little thingy like opened up. And he goes inside and he just takes a couple of shots, and then he's just walking around like nothing fucking happened. I ended up going for a walk to just cool down, because this man just disrespected me. Mind you, this is the first time he's ever raised his voice at me like this. This is the first time he's ever showed his anger issues towards me. So I feel disrespected. So I was like, you know what? Because I don't allow people to yell at me like that. My own father, my grandmother, my aunt, they don't yell at me like that. So for a grown ass man to sit there and yell at me was kind of shocking. And I just needed a break. So I go for a walk. I'm walking around the neighborhood. I don't know what happened with Moet, but I ended up seeing Moet walking down the street with her suitcase. And my oh my ended up leaving too. And I see Moet walking one way. I'm walking the other way, and she stops to talk to Moet, and Moet just keeps on walking. I'm walking the other way, the opposite direction. My oh my's coming this way. I'm walking this way. She gets out the car. She was like, "What the fuck is going on? You're outside walking around. Moet's walking around with her suitcase." She was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I said, "I don't know what the hell happened with Moet. I just know that I needed a breather." So she was like, "Are you good? This and that." I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I just needed a breather." So I go back inside. I get some tequila. And I go back outside. He's on live, and he's in the pink car, the car with all the lights. He's in the pink car. I see him in the car, and I don't say anything to him. I walk right by the car. And then Lo comes outside, and she wants to have a conversation, and she's like asking me like what's wrong and this and that and how I'm feeling. Basically just trying to, be nosy. and see what's going on. And then I ended up going inside. I go upstairs and I'm talking to Ladybug. And me and Ladybug are talking, we're connecting. And then she was like, well, they're downstairs playing games. Let's go downstairs and play games. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go downstairs, play games. Mel feels a certain type of way because I'm over there talking to Ladybug and I'm not talking to her. Even when I went downstairs, I didn't want to talk to anybody. But I was talking to Ladybug. So she felt a certain type of way. Me and Ladybug are texting back and forth. And we're playing the hot seat. So that's when, you know, you sit in the chair and people ask you questions. If you don't want to answer the question, you have to take a shot. So we were playing that game, and that game kind of ended when I went off on Cupid, when they put me in the hot seat. And I kind of went off on Cupid. You're on mute, Mama. Not Cupid, Cuban. My bad.
Cuban, yes. Did he ever apologize to you for going off on you in front of everybody?
No. He claimed, when I tried to talk to him about it, he claimed, because I was like, what took you there? He sat there and said that he was super drunk and he doesn't remember going off on me. And he sat there and said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it was past tense. It already happened.
That's sick. That's sick. So let me make a comment. You guys can all see the way he thinks. Denial, doesn't want to apologize. I just want to keep reiterating these points so that everybody can understand what type of person that we're dealing with. We're not making him out to be the bad guy. He's making himself out to be the bad guy. Okay? So you guys are playing hot seat. What caused the exchange of energy between you and Melanie? The argument that we all witnessed.
Basically, like I said, I was in my feelings because shit wasn't going right. He kept wanting me to go get alcohol. I was irritated. And basically, that's kind of all it was. I gave her the same energy I gave him, and that's the reason why he yelled at me, because I was ignoring people. I just wanted to drink, and I just wanted to just vibe out by myself for a while. So she was like asking me questions. She was telling me to come here, and I just ignored her. I was like, no, I'm good. She was like, no, come here. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I just want to have a drink.
Right.
So
Sidebar.
My energy is what caused the argument.
Okay, I can kind of understand that, because looking at the two of you, it reminded me of me and one of my girlfriends arguing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a sidebar question, you guys. This is a sidebar. If Mel were ever to say, Shel, I really, really am into you, I really like you, would you ever date her seriously?
No, because I don't date my friends, because I don't want to fuck up that friendship that we have. Okay. Because with the relationship, and she's just like me. That's why I call her my sis, and she calls me her sis, because we are the same. We're the same. So we both have mouthpieces on us. We both sit there and say what we want to say when we want to say it. Our delivery is not always on point, and we know that. But a part of us, depending on the situation, depending on how we feel, we don't give a fuck.
Okay.
So
I was just picking up the sexual tension between the two of you. That's all. Okay, let's get back into it. So you didn't feel like being bothered, basically. When is your birthday again? What is your sign?
I'm February 12th. I'm Aquarius.
You're Aquarius? Oh my God, you guys are so emotional. Okay, so I get it now. We get it. I get it. Okay. So you just needed to be by yourself for a cool little minute. You didn't want no hugs and kisses or nothing. You just wanted to be by, okay. Okay. So then after the hot seat, everybody got pretty relaxed. So take us to what happened as the night went on.
So basically,
wait. Let me intervene really quick. And this was the same night that Tambra, Moet, and the rest of the festivities all happened, correct?
I think that was the first night. Like I said, I don't remember if it was I think that was the first night. The hot seat was the
We need to
second
go
night.
back. Okay, so let's go back to the first night then, because I didn't know we skipped over festivities, baby. So the first night, what type of sexual festivities popped off?
So basically, we went outside, and I don't know whose idea it was. Who said that they were gonna go skinny dipping? I think it was My Oh My, who sat there and said that she wanted to skinny dip, but she also said that she did not want to be on camera, and she wanted some more people to go skinny dipping with her. I think that's when Lo took my shorts off or my skirt off. I think that's when that happened. And we basically went outside. Everybody went outside and we skinny dipped. After that, we went inside. We dried off. Everybody was drunk at this point. They played some music. I danced for Mel. And then Moet danced for Mel. And then Mel danced for Moet. Like a little lap dance. And then after that, we basically started playing games with, I don't even know her name, some Mexican lady. She's from the app too. I have no idea who she is. Huh?
The stud? The stud lady.
I guess I have not. I just know that she's.
No, it wasn't Liz. It was not Liz. It was not Liz. This is.
Yeah.
We just gonna skip. She was a stud.
Oh, Block. Yes, that's her name. Block.
That's her name. Block. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, not Tambra. She had a little bit of makeup on, hair put, but she was a stud. Okay, so you guys started playing games, and then what happened?
After we started playing games, I'm not sure what happened after that. I think we just all hung out.
So when did Moet and Tambra? So when did Moet and Tambra happen?
I have no idea when that happened. I saw pictures of it, but I don't know when that happened. I did not sit there and see it happen.
So what do you know happened between Moet and Tambra?
I don't know anything. I just know what I heard happen.
Joe, we're not gonna do that. We're not.
No, I'm telling you,
What did you hear happen then? What did you hear happen?
That one of them ate the other one out.
Who ate who out?
I don't even recall. Either I think it was Tambra that ate Moet out, but mind you, like we were shit faced it, honey. We were every single time we turned around, someone was giving someone a fucking shot. When I tell you we went through bottles after bottles after bottles, honey, we were fucked the fuck up. I remember one time turning around and fucking Tambra just sitting there just naked like this, just legs open, all kinds of shit. Like we were tore the fuck up. Like it was a show.
So Tambra wanted her bell rang. Her little bell between her legs. She wanted somebody to ring it with their tongue. Okay. So let me tell you what I heard and tell me if this is false information. I heard that Moet ate Tambra's coochie and sucked her titties. Is that true or false?
I have no idea. Like I said, I didn't see it. So I don't know.
You don't know? You didn't see it? Did you hear about it?
I heard about it, but like I said, if I didn't see it, I'm not.
Then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Lala's in here. Lala, are you recording as well? Okay. I hate when I have to do that. I'm sorry. I just got the message, you guys. Okay, as long as somebody's recording still, we're good, right? We're good? Okay. So then moving on from that situation. Okay, we don't have to fly those messages across the screen. All right. So moving on from that situation, as I said before, basically you were saying if I didn't see it, it didn't happen in your eyes, correct?
In my eyes, I only want to speak on the facts that I know that I see.
Okay. Okay.
But
So
mind you, it's
now,
a party, so like everybody is doing their own thing. There's multiple rooms in the house. There's downstairs. There was a pool area. There was a area where there was like games, like old school games. There was outside. People were in the pool. People were smoking. Like it's a house. It's a house party. So I wasn't just walking around taking notes on what everybody was doing.
I'm not saying that, but I know, like, if I'm at an orgy, because I've been to them, I'm gonna look, honey, because I like to look. I'm a voyeur. I'm gonna look. I might even sit and watch. I'm just saying, that's just me and my experience. But everybody does things differently, so I can understand.
Yeah,
So
but
you guys are shooting
it
things.
wasn't like everybody was just walking around fucking and sucking and playing with each other. It wasn't it wasn't like that. Like I've been to orgies before too. So I mean it was definitely not like that. Everybody wasn't just getting it in like that.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna move on past that. That was a little key. Okay. So we go on. So the next night after that, did any reindeer activities happen that night?
The first night, Mel sat there and told me that I was allowed to discuss it because she sat there and said everybody knew. Me, TKO, and Mel had a threesome upstairs. I sucked his dick. They fucked each other. I went downstairs to go get some water. I came back upstairs. Uh, Tamara was trying to join. I was like, girl, I'm going to sleep. And she was like, can I go with you? I was like, girl, I'm going to sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep. Coco was in her room. When I get back to the room, TKO asked me who's all there. I sat there and said, I don't know, but Tamara's trying to come upstairs and join us. She's on the stairway, and I told her no. We ended up going to sleep. He woke up. He told me that he was going to take Coco to the airport because the airport is close to his house. I was like, okay, cool. Went back to sleep, woke up, and then day 2 started.
So that was a quick threesome. You blew his balls back. Him and Mel had their little, and that was it.
Yeah, because it was Mel's birthday, and I had already got the dick, and I live in Vegas, so I can get the dick whenever I wanted to. So that was for her. That wasn't
Okay.
for me. That was for her.
Right, but I know you guys like women, so you guys didn't partake in having sex.
A little bit, but it was just a couple of licks, and then that was basically it. It wasn't. I didn't really participate too much.
Okay. Well, that was a nice little birthday gift. Okay. So moving on. So we had the little kinky this and kinky that. So then we go on. So after you guys got through with the explosion and TKO and the whole thing and the hot seat, then everything calmed down after that. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After that,
So what
TKO
happened?
ended up leaving.
Okay. So let's talk about that night. What happened that night? Because that's when production was there, right? That's when they had the camera set up and everything.
Yeah, that was when me and Ladybug went downstairs and joined, and everybody was sitting there asking questions, drinking, just basically having fun, doing the hot seat. After that, me and Cuban got into it. I called her a bitch and this and that, blah blah blah. She wanted to leave, and Ladybug and Mel was like, "Yo, we rode with you, so if you're leaving, then we have to leave, and we're not ready to leave. So what's gonna happen?" So we basically simmered that down, and we just basically hung out. We went to bed, and that was about it. We didn't really do too much after that.
Okay, so let's talk about because there's some things missing here. There was a night where I think this was Mel's birthday night before the eruption and everything. She had on the cute little dress and they were taking pictures and stuff. Do you recall that? Everybody
The
was in the
pink
backyard
dress.
by the pink dress stuff taking pictures.
Oh yes, we were taking pictures, and I didn't know people were on live. I thought it was kind of like the night before where we could just do whatever. Um,
Right.
but yeah, we were taking pictures. I think I tried to like lick Mel's coochie underneath her dress or do something like finger her or something, and everybody was like, "Yo, you're doing too much. Like people are on live," and I was like, "Okay, my bad."
Right. Okay, so what happened? Do you recall any specifics that happened that night?
Um, Nothing too crazy that I remember.
You don't remember that night? Oh, I'm
Like I
sorry,
said,
Block. Block's not a stud. Block, I don't think I'm talking about you, baby. I don't think it's you. It's somebody else that I have in mind. They said Block, but I don't think it's you. Just to clarify that really quick. Okay. Go ahead,
yeah,
Shells. Do you
I,
remember anything
yeah,
that
I don't
night?
know. No, Block said it was her.
Oh, she's saying that is her? Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll discuss that later. This is not about that. What happened with the closet situation? There was an incident that happened in the closet. I don't know what night it happened, but do you remember what happened
What
in the
closet
closet?
situation? No, I don't know anything
At the
about
Airbnb?
about a
Nobody
closet.
got beat in the closet or something, nothing happened in the closet?
No.
The comments are asking, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, no. No one got beat. No one got hit or anything like that at the party.
When Lo got mad at TKO, she mentioned the incident that happened in the closet. So
Um,
maybe you weren't there then.
yeah, I don't know any incident about any closet.
Okay, so we're not asking any questions right now, you guys. We'll do it after we get through. So she doesn't know about that. So I'm gonna have to interview somebody else who knows about that. Thank you, love. Okay. So how many nights was the rendezvous, the Drip Baddies rendezvous? How many nights was it in total?
We only stayed at the Airbnb 2 nights.
2 nights? Okay. And okay, so we covered the first night, the second night, the night that you guys were all in the kitchen cooking that night. That was the last night that was at the Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And nothing in particular you said happened that night, right?
No.
No. Okay. So the video of everybody jumping in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
everybody naked, holding hands, jumping in the pool, was that something TKO set up, or was that just something random that happened?
No, my wanted to skinny dip, but she didn't want to do it by herself. So she wanted
Right.
some other people to go with her, but she didn't want it to be on camera.
So
And that's when TKO told everybody to put up the cameras and everything like that, but Lo was still live on Instagram. That's how the picture got out.
So TKO didn't take any video footage of that?
Not that I know of, no. Because when we talked about it the next morning, when we were all packing up to leave, my oh my had called and she was highly pissed off that it had been out there that we all went skinny dipping. She was hella pissed off, and I kind of got pissed off at him because I was like, you knew that the picture was leaked and you just didn't tell anybody. And he kind of just brushed it off as if it wasn't a big deal. And he was like, I already talked to the person who leaked the picture and this and that. And I was like, well, who was it? And he told us that it was Lo that leaked the picture. that she was on live on Instagram, and someone took a screenshot, and that's how it got out. But he just brushed it off like it was nothing because that's just more clout for him.
Right. Do you think that the Drip Baddies weekend, even though you guys didn't approve of certain things, do you guys think that in the back of TKO's mind, and I'm sure we all know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think in the back of his mind that he just had his own demon time purposes for recording you guys without you guys knowing it?
TKO knows what he does. He's far from stupid. Narcissistic people are very, very smart, and they do things for their own reasons. So everything he does for a reason.
Did you witness
He's
TKO?
Very calculated.
Absolutely, I agree. Did you witness TKO having any type of sexual interaction with anybody other than you and Mel?
We did go in the theater room, and I sucked his dick then, and Mel was in there. But other than that, no, I didn't see him have any intercourse with anybody else.
Okay. Did he use protection when he had sex with Mel and you?
He did not. He did not. But he only had sex with Mel.
Okay. All right. So the last evening or the last day that you guys all spent together, you guys had fun, everybody chilled, hung out. And what were there any significant, because there's some things that may or may not be true, so I'm just going to let you kind of speak freely. So there was nothing else that you can recall of the last night that you guys were there that happened that would be something significant. That's the only way I can put it, you guys. I can't. If I reword it any other way, then I'm gonna have to say something.
No.
Okay. Okay. So once all that wrapped up and everybody went their own ways and everything, how soon after did you find out that you guys, your pictures were leaked online? That's number one.
When we were getting ready to leave the Airbnb, I told the girls, because at that point, the only ones that were at the Airbnb, TKO ended up coming back to the house because he didn't spend the night that night. He ended up leaving. It was only me, Ryda, Cuban, Ladybug, and Mel, and Moet. Me and Ladybug were fucking with Moet. We definitely fucked with her. She was on the air mattress, and we were throwing shit at her, and we were kicking the air mattress because she kept snoring. She's a very loud snorer. So she was a very loud snorer. So we were fucking with her, trying to wake her up, and like, girl, get in another fucking position or something, because honey, you sound like a fucking grizzly bear. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you sound like a grown ass fucking man. It was crazy. But so those are the only people that were still at the Airbnb, and then TKO ended up coming to the house, and that's when my called and was highly pissed off about the pictures. And then I don't know who showed me the picture, but I ended, because I never got the picture. No one sent me the picture. I just saw the picture. But when I saw the picture, I told him, I was like, yo, you knew about the fucking picture being leaked, and you didn't tell any of us, any of the ladies that were in the picture. You didn't tell us. And he just kind of brushed it off. But that was that morning when we were packing up to go to my house. And I sat there and told them, I was like, yo, Ryda, Ladybug, Mel, and Cuban, they can come to my house, but I told Moet that she's gonna have to figure out whatever the fuck she's gonna figure out, but she wasn't going to come to my house.
Hmm. When did you find out that TKO and My Oh My was having sex?
Um, I didn't know that. I heard rumors of it, but I I personally don't know if that's true or not. But I mean, I don't trust my own mind because she was the same person that was calling me during the auditions and a little after the auditions, talking about watch out for TKO. He's fucking. She's the one that woke it up to me that he was fucking Lotus, and that's where she said that she came to the house and went in Lotus' room and it smelled like sex. And mind you, there's no men that are allowed at Lexi's house. So I know that Lotus didn't bring anybody to the house, but she just kept telling me, like, you're a smart lady, like, you're independent, you know, you're smart. And I was like, but you're not telling me anything. She was like, I'm just telling you, you know, be careful, be careful. But she's still, till this day, the same lady that goes over to Lexi's house and hangs out with them. So I'm not the type of person that's going to warn somebody about somebody else and then go sit at their table and hee hee ha ha with them. Because birds of a feather flock together. And the people that I'm around are just like me. Or we have some kind of connection or similarities with each other. But I'm not going to be like, oh, this person's not a good person and then go hang out with them. So I don't trust my own life.
Have you ever seen Lotus?
Huh?
Go ahead, baby. Finish your sentence.
If she's fucking TKO, wouldn't really be a surprise. At this point, however, everybody's coming out the woodworks, so I mean, that would just be another one. It wouldn't be a surprise that she got the dick too.
Right. So, have you yourself ever seen TKO and Lotus have sex, or her sucking his dick, or eating his ass?
No.
So that was something that My Oh My told you. Okay. How did you hear about My Oh My having sex with TKO?
Bigo. People have hit my DMs and told me rumors. I don't know if they're rumors. I don't know if they're not rumors. Discords.
Was there any proof, receipts?
No.
Has Lotus ever admitted fucking TKO or sucking his dick or eating his ass?
Not that I heard. I just heard that she took out a loan to be in the house because she was part of the auditions and she didn't get chose. And she took out a loan, gave it to him, and now she's his assistant.
Wow. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. Do you know if TKO making any of the other women while they were there in Vegas so that we can take out loans and give him the money?
Not that I've heard of. I heard rumors that Coco did, but
she said she did.
I don't know. He did sit there and take her to the airport that morning. I don't know what they did, but I don't know if he took her to the bank. I don't know what happened with that.
Right. Coco said she did. Coco said she did. She opened a bank account. It wasn't a large amount. I want to say it was $1,200 or $1,500. She took a small portion for herself and gave him the rest. So, did you hear about Moet opening up an account or getting a loan and giving it to him? Did you hear about that? Or do you know anything about that?
While she was out here in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she did that. The girl was online, stranded. and she showed the receipts that her bank account was overdrawn and she needed cash apps to get back home because basically she was stranded out here in Vegas because she changed her flight and didn't have enough money for another one and she overdrawn her account. So
Right. So the first time, if she were to take out a loan and give him all the money, she would be broke, right?
yeah.
Okay. Did you hear about Moet giving TKO $2,000 the second time to see him, and he never took the time to go on a date or see her?
I heard something about that. But again, that was on Bigo, so
Right. So we don't know if it's true or not. We don't have a receipt.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So do you know about any other women giving him money while you were in his presence or dealing with him?
No, no,
No.
none of the girls that I named earlier did.
Did he ever ask you to open or did he ever ask to be on any of your accounts or take your money and join it with his?
No,
No.
no.
So,
And if he would have asked, I would have said no. The fuck? You're not
right.
gonna fuck up my credit. You're not gonna
Right,
fuck up
right,
my credit. Like the fuck?
right.
No.
So what I'm gathering is he's treated you quite different than he's treated other women because other women have told accounts where he wanted to be on all their bank accounts, their credit cards and everything, but he didn't do you that way. He just asked for money from you.
Yeah, because I'm a stripper, so that's how I get paid. I don't get checks. I get either Cash Apps, Venmo, PayPal's, Zelles, or cash money.
Okay. So now we went over some of the things. There's still I feel like there's holes in the weekend of Vegas. Is there anything else that you feel comfortable talking about that weekend, or do you feel like you've covered all areas of the weekend, the Drip Baddies weekend in Vegas?
Um, I'll talk about whatever, like whatever questions are needed to be
Okay.
asked.
Okay. So from the beginning to when everybody left, first of all, let's talk about Hot Cocoa really quick. I want to go back over that. We all seen and viewed on live where her and TKO were having some type of, and you said he made her go to the room, but even after she came back, what was the rift between the two of them where he was like, I'm taking your ass home. You're going to get on a plane and go home.
So she had already had her flight for the next morning. So she did ask me if I can take her to the airport, and I told her that I didn't have a car. My car was in the shops. I told her if Cuban lets me borrow her car, that I would take her to the airport. And the next morning, TKO woke me up to let me know that he was leaving. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get up in a couple hours anyways and take Hot Coco to the airport. And he was like, no, the airport's right down there. Because we were staying in North Vegas for the Airbnb. And he stays closer to the airport. So he was like, no, the airport's right there by the house. So I'll just take her. And I was like, okay, cool. So he ended up taking her to the airport.
Okay. Now, do you know were you at the bar when Ace and everybody was at the bar? Ace, what was it? Cat Coins. That's the night when Late Night and Ace got into it. Did you see, or when you guys went to the strip club? That's what I'm trying to get to. Did you see, or did you know anything about TKO choking Star Marilyn?
I didn't see it, but I did hear that it happened. But I didn't see it. At one point, I went off to charge my phone, and I told him that, mind you, he took off his chain and he put it in my purse. And she felt a certain type of way because she was like, oh, I'm sitting right here. You could put it in my purse. And he was like, no, I put it in Shell's purse. And she was like, yeah, but you could have put it in my purse, blah, 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 whatever. I ended up telling him, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. My phone is plugged up at the end of the bar." And he was like, "Okay, cool. Let me have my chain." So I gave him my chain, or gave him his chain, and I went to the bathroom with Sweetie. So there was a time period where I missed that part, but they did say that he choked her at the bar. I don't know if it was like him choking her to like put her in her place and kind of brushed it off like, haha, I'm just joking, or if he was really just joking, if that makes sense.
You couldn't tell the difference.
I wasn't there when he choked her.
Oh, you didn't see it. Right. Okay. Okay. Um, so I'm trying to think. Do did you know about TKO and Hot Cocoa going out to eat when he took her
Yeah,
out to
to
eat for six?
IHOP. Yeah, to
Yeah.
IHOP. I did catch part of that, but I was in and out of sleep, but I did catch part of that. And he looked very uninterested on being there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in between going out to eat and him taking her to her room, there's something that took place. Did you hear of anything that happened, or do you know?
No.
No. Okay. So we're gonna leave that alone, you guys, because that would be for Star Maryland whenever she decides to open up, or whenever she, because right now she's probably gonna say that she doesn't know, but then sooner or later it'll come out. So we'll wait for that. Okay. So now that we are currently, you guys got past the weekend, and what you did state, when he was yelling at you outside the Airbnb, what I'm gathering from that. So at that point, when the weekend was over, did you feel like you were pretty much over it at that point? Or,
At that point, I just kind of brushed it off till we were all drinking, because especially when I had came to him and asked him like what took him there. When he brushed it off, he was like, I don't know, I was drunk. He just kind of brushed it off, and I was like, okay. I also just kind of brushed it off because I was like, we were drinking, so maybe that's. And then plus I was already kind of pissed off and, irritated, and I know how my energy is when I'm at that point. So I kind of just brushed it off to, yeah, I was being a bitch. Yeah, I didn't want anybody to talk to me. Yes, I just wanted to drink and calm down and just kind of, just do me for a little bit until my energy got back right. So I kind of blamed myself and like, yeah, well, I was a bitch. So like if I was being treated that way, how would I react? Not knowing that that was who he really was until I moved into the house. Then I was like, oh, for sure, this is how he is. But I just
right.
blamed it on the alcohol and my energy not being correct, I guess someone would
Wow.
say.
I understand, love. So when exactly did you move into the house?
I moved into the house late June. I want to say like the middle of June, probably June. Actually, I can give you a date. Let me see. Let me type it in. 6/16. I told him, Morning King, the movers have just got here. He's like, just letting you know I'm up now. So Father's Day.
Hold
Is
on.
when
I'm looking
I,
at, you said 6/16 you moved into the house?
yeah, June 16th. I told him, hey, I told him, Morning King, the movers have just got here.
Wow. You know what's strange? A month after that is when Korea filed her papers in Vegas. 7. I think it was 7. Yeah, 7/16, 2024. That's crazy. So the day that you moved in, first of all, what made you come to a total agreement or decision with yourself that you were going to give up your place and move in with him? What made you make that
Um,
decision?
I was leasing the house, so me and him had hung out on the back end. Me and him had, I would come to the house and hang out. He had been to my house and hung out when he was at the gym. So I just felt comfortable with him. What I saw online was the same energy that he was giving me. So I just felt comfortable. I felt like this was gonna work and shit like that. I felt like what I was seeing and the energy that I was receiving was going to continue to be the same.
Right. And how much did he say that he needed from you before you moved into the house? How much money?
Me and him did talk about that because he was saying that basically like I wasn't like, oh, there was a hummingbird over here. Um, so when I asked him, because he was like basically like what's taking me so long, and I just told him I was like I don't know what you like basically what you want from me because I don't have like a large lump sum of money to give you. Like I still had bills in Minnesota, I still send money to my family, shit like that. So I told him I got, and then I still have bills out here, and then I still had to move and